Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
Okay, we've got a special returning guest coming back to us today, copywriter extraordinaire. Man, she knows her stuff. I've been talking to her back and forth after our first podcast, and just got to know her, a lot better. She's done, actually. I've hired her on numerous occasions to write copy for us now, and she does an incredible job. So she is the CEO of Hypnotic Amazon Copywriter, and her name is Diane Bolster. So anyways, you probably recognize the name. Kelsey will put the podcast, the last podcast in. We're going to be talking about a lot of great things today. Kelsey, first let's get you on here.
Yes. Hello.
This is our biggest giveaway.
I believe so. Yeah. The 5 digits.
So anybody who's
figures?
listening today has a chance of winning a $25,000 giveaway. And not only that, we also have a $1,000 giveaway. So both of these, I'll get Diane to explain in a second, but man, oh man, this is going to be incredible. Wait till you hear. Now, I'll have to talk to her about that too, because I don't know if there's any logistics. This is open to anybody, correct? So I think in the world, it's not a US or Canada thing.
Yeah, so I believe so. But we'll clarify, and we'll let you know how to enter and everything in a little bit. But
all right.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show.
So
I just want to
go ahead. Yeah, okay. Don't let me talk. It's my podcast.
You know what? So we got to give it to the people watching here. So Manny, welcome. Fatiha, welcome. Haznats.
Haznat, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to talk to him, but he's another guy. This guy, man, oh man, talk about PPC. I've talked to him a little bit lately, and he's shared in our group. He had some ninja tactics. I don't know if you get a chance, check out the Facebook group and see some of the stuff that he's been posting. It's incredible. So thank you, sir. And hey, Mark. I don't know who the Facebook user is. Marcia, no, it's a stranger. I was just talking to you. Yakov, Daniel, Simon, Nick, Tony.
Everyone is joining us today.
Yeah,
wow.
That's fantastic.
Everyone loves Diane.
I knew it'd be a great show. All right. So remember, I'll just do Kelsey's thing. He interrupted me. He'll probably interrupt me again, but smash those like buttons, subscribe, follow, ring bells, do whatever to have. Join our Facebook group. I guess that's a good one. Right, Kelsey? Did I do it right?
Yeah. Our Facebook group at Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and eCommerce Collective. Head over there. That's where all the fun stuff is. Also, let us know what you think about our new templates for the YouTube channel. We've kind of changed things up a little bit. We still got to, upload all the new ones to the old episodes, but we're working on it. And it's going to be a good show, and I'm excited for it.
Yep. We're going to be covering today's show. We're going to be talking about how to create great copy, the big mistakes sellers are making, and just try to improve it. So Diane is just incredible when it comes to this. All right, so why don't we do this? Get off the screen, other way, that way. There we go. And sit back, relax, and enjoy that cup of coffee. Hello, lady.
Thank you. Hi, I can see myself. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Well, it's nice to see you again.
Thank you. You as well.
And, I got to tell you, just a sec. Cheers. You should get a Lunch with Norm. Come on.
I have just been informed that there will be one headed my way.
All right. Very good.
They are exclusive, and we have to keep it limited so that they remain exclusive.
There we go.
I get one. So I'm super excited.
What I was going to say is, since the last time we talked, you've done multiple projects for me. And I am so excited. The quality of the work that you've done, it really is second to none. It's very good. And the angles that you took, and you take a look at, you go, I wish I would have taken that angle, but never even thought of it. So thanks again. So it's not only am I excited to have Diane here, I've used her services, and they're fantastic.
Thank you.
I can't believe when you came to the podcast today what you're offering. So I heard Kelsey said, "Oh, Diane's going to be like offering us this $1,000 package," and I thought, "Wow, that's great. You offered that." I think it was I don't even know if it was that package, and then you come out of nowhere and you say, "Oh, I got a $25,000 package I'm going to offer."
Yep.
And it's a $25,000 package. This is nuts.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I gotta thank you. The show thanks you. And
it's only here. Like, this is the only place I'm offering it. Like, nobody else gets this.
This is crazy. So anyway,
it's pieces. So
if you know friends, if you want to tag people, I'm going to tell you how to get I'm not sure of the hashtags. The $1,000 one is going to be hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you tag 2 people, you get a second entry. And then the $25,000 one, Kelsey, how are we doing that?
I don't know.
Oh, hashtag wow. There we go. Whoever the
hashtag
Facebook.
wow, sure.
Hashtag wow. And that'll be,
Makes
you'll
it
enter
nice and
into,
easy.
and that's the same thing. If you tag 2 people, you'll be entered twice. And yeah, that's great. Diane, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
We have to explain the giveaway, I think, a little bit.
we can wait. We can wait.
I can do
Okay. Build some suspense. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Whatever you guys want to do. Your show. Just,
It's Kelsey, so unorganized.
he just wants to know all about it.
No, it's like me. I'm the unorganized one. But let's get into who you are and what you do.
Oh my gosh, who am I and what do I do? I'm the Hypnotic Amazon copywriter, as so called by a client who decided this like years ago. They decided to come up with a name for me, and it was going back and forth. You're the Hypnotic Amazon copywriter, and someone else said, no, you're the Wolf of Amazon, and someone else said, no, you're the Queen of Marketing, and it was crazy. So basically, what I do for Amazon sellers in about 50% of my business is I go in, I look at your product, I write copy, I position your product. Basically, I write the words that sell your product on Amazon, infuse keywords, and help with image guidance for a lot of people as well, so they get maximum conversions. Right? That's a simplified version of what I do. A lot of what goes into that is business consulting, and then because people, I kind of fill in the potholes for questions that people don't know the answers to when they're selling on Amazon as well. But then the other 50, it used to be about 10% of my business, and now it's grown to about 50% of my business. Is I'm an investor owner who is helping people basically massively grow their companies, whether they're e-com companies or service companies, and then exit for a lot more money through this program that I still haven't officially launched, but is gaining a lot of steam. It's called Grow to Exit Big. And this all comes together because before I was the Hypnotic Amazon copywriter, I was in creative finance to the tune of, getting loans that were billions of dollars, lending against assays and, carve outs and anything along those lines for businesses that wanted to grow rapidly. And so that's now come back into my purview, and I'm combining it with my marketing knowledge, my e-com knowledge, everything else to help people exponentially grow their companies so they can exit big. Because most e-com sellers, they think, okay, I have a product, I'm making this much money. I'll add another product, I have a brand, and then maybe they have 5, 10, 15 products, but they don't go through and think about how they have to position to sell massively for a massive multiplier. And they don't think about professionalizing it. They don't think about organizing it. They don't think about repositioning it away from being just an Amazon or e-commerce company into something that's like, hey, did you know we could actually get a 36x multiplier by repositioning and acquiring other companies and adding it onto our company under SPVs. And then we can sell to a hedge fund for 36 times our value, as opposed to selling for 3 times our value based on top line sales. So I'm going through and helping with a lot of that as well.
Just 36 times multiple.
Just 36x. That's on a double sell. That's if you sell 80. That's if you sell 80%, you grow for 18 months, you sell 80%, you retain 20%, and then you sell the other 20% again in 5 years. So you're basically double selling your business.
So let's talk about the giveaways.
Okay.
I still got giveaways on my mind, and it's going to be so great. Okay. First one, let's do only the $1,000 one first.
The $1,000 one is the Hypnotic Amazon Listing Plus package that I've had for probably Oh my gosh, 4 or 5 years now. And so what that is your competitive buyer keyword analysis. We'll go through and figure out what your best buyer keywords are, not just the ones that they run on the softwares. We'll go through, and I have my own analytics, like my own, what do you call it? I have my own macro for doing that. So nobody else has that. So that's always really useful. And then of course the hypnotic title, SEO infused title, the hypnotic bullet points, EBC content plus image guidance for EBC. And that's the Hypnotic Amazon Listing Plus package. And then, so most people know it's just, if you're a brand registered seller, it's really useful. That's exactly everything you need, basically, outside of your main hero and auxiliary image guidance. And then let's add that on though too to it. Let's do that. Let's make it the $14.97 package.
All right, so guys, we're going to, instead of 1,000, let's just go 1,400.
That's really everything you need, right? Okay, so that's really everything. I don't want to say it's what you need and then it's not everything. So let's add on the main and auxiliary image guidance to that one, which are your images that are to the left of your title. And we call it the mobile hero package, because without having the right images on mobile with the hot sales copy, people aren't going to be able to see your bullet points in EBC till they scroll way down on their cell phones. And 48%, I think it is, that's the last I heard, 48% of all sales on Amazon are starting on mobile phones right now. So you really need to have those images dialed in and the sales copy selling your product before they can scroll down past all of the other competitors and the fun stuff Amazon puts on your listing to maximize their profits, right?
Okay.
So we're going to bump it to $14.97, the $14.97.
That's awesome. All right. And just keeping it short, because this could go on for another 15 minutes talking about the next one.
Short is not what I do.
But the summary of the next one, this is a $25,000 giveaway.
Yeah.
Let's explain that. This is an incredible package.
Okay. So this isn't like so the listing package is a one-off. What this is I'm going to step into your company. I'm going to take a look at your products. We're going to talk about ways in which you can grow by adding product lines, other companies, not just e-commerce companies. We're talking about you might have value in adding, acquiring an accounting company. And I know how to acquire those type of companies, including how to acquire them without any money out of your pocket, with the exception of like legal fees and, obviously due diligence fees, things like that. We'll talk about how you need to professionalize. We'll look at bringing in the key players. We'll look at the 6 different ways that we can grow your business besides just e-commerce, and we'll look at how we can reposition it so that it's not just a company that's selling a product, but see what your highest multiplier is possible. And then we'll also make sure you're legally covered, so that because as you grow, you attract a lot of attention, right? And I'm not an attorney, but I've put together an amazing team of people that I work with across the country, including attorneys, accountants, CPAs, C-level integrators, right? So I can have people take a look at all of this as well with me, make sure that you're covered. And then we'll look at how to reposition your company as whether or not it's an e-com company. Is that going to get you the highest multiplier? Or are we going to be looking at getting you, moving you into like the marketing space? Are you more of a marketing company? Are you more of a distribution company? Is that a higher multiplier for you? Like what's going to get you the most money so you can grow to exit big? And you'll have a strategic plan for knowing what you should do, right? Like here the multiple steps you should do, because to a lot of people, it's really overwhelming. They're like, well, I want to go from here and I want to sell here, but there's so much exponential growth in between there. They don't realize that it's not about, okay, well, I just need higher conversions and I need more traffic, and then I'm going to be able to sell my company for all this money. That's not how it works. You'll be able to sell your company for a lot of money, but not for what you can get if you just hold tight for 18 months, exponentially grow into a company that's really large and respectable, that you can then flip to a hedge fund or to a much larger brand, right? And this, like we can look at acquiring your competitors, all kinds of things. So basically it's for people who want to exponentially grow their company outside of just, I want to have more money in my pocket at the end of every month. It's more about their long-term, or for some people, they're pretty close to ready, their short-term exit plan.
Okay. So again, if you want to get entered into either one of these, the first one is only the $1,400 one is hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. And the second one, the $25,000 version, is hashtag wow. And if you want, just tag 2 people and you'll be entered a second time. All right. I have one question, because just before I got onto this call, I was working with one of my clients and they have the word anti-aging in their listing.
Oh boy. Okay.
And they came back and they said, look, every one of my competitors on page 1 have the word anti-aging cream or anti-aging, whatever it is. I said to them, we cannot use the word anti-aging. It is a claim. Is that correct?
Okay, so legally, anti-aging is not a claim. Okay, for Amazon, anti-aging is a claim.
Right.
Right. So the claim with an anti-aging would actually be talking about what that means. Okay, so first of all, so there's two different ways to look at this. So there's a keyword search, right? You're talking about they want the keyword anti-aging, right?
Yes.
Okay. Unless they're dropping about $15,000 a month on PPC right now, it's not worth going after. I wouldn't even touch it. I would advertise for it on their back end. And that's great. You can put it into your, back in keyword terms. There's all kinds of things you do. You can use it on Facebook. You can, there's all kinds of things you do with that. But in terms of anti-aging, what people don't realize is most consumers aren't necessarily looking for anti-aging and having it stick out anymore because everybody's using it. So I personally, unless you absolutely have to, for some odd reason, use anti-aging and you have FDA approval and you have FCC approval to use that, or anti-aging is, hint in your product name, that's how you sneak it in, then I would not use it on your listing.
Very good. And there's so many other things. You could talk about the benefits of it, and you can talk. That's what I was saying. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you said that.
Like your product name, and it costs you $187 to go file it in your tagline, and as a product name. And it's really not expensive if you really want to use that word. But otherwise, the words like 4 wrinkles, 4 fine lines, 4 crow's feet, 4. I don't even know what you call this. I'm turning 40 next month, and I'm learning like what you call all these things showing up on my face, right? Like what the official, because I've always written about them, but it's like, okay, what's that? Okay, that's what that is. I'm not real happy about that, but I've got a lot of clients who can send me stuff that will fix all this, right? Like we're gonna fix this. I'm not gonna look old by 40. So yeah, I'd be very careful using it, but there are ways to sneak it in.
Okay, very good. Now let's start talking about listings. Okay. I'm kind of interested in, we've talked a lot about positioning in the last podcast.
Yeah.
But let's talk more about what are some of the mistakes people are making right now when they're putting up their product listing.
They're focusing on keywords. Okay, so keywords and length. That's the biggest thing, keywords and length, right?
Yeah.
So Amazon cycle of love, what a lot of people, okay, so let me back up to the very beginning. People bring me keywords, right? And of course I do my own research on keywords, tons of it. Been doing it for about 10 plus years. So they bring me keywords and they say, I want all these keywords in my listing. And I say, okay, why? And they say, well, because these are the highest volume keywords. And I'm like, they're also the highest competition. And unless you plan on spending a lot of money on those keywords, Amazon's not going to rank you for those keywords unless you get sales for those keywords. So they're overly focused on infusing all these keywords to the point where they aren't focused on conversions, right? The way you rank high, all of those people ranking, for 2,000, 3,000 keywords organically, you obviously can't have those all in your bullet points, right? Maybe you want 1 to 2 keywords per bullet point, not 50 keywords per bullet point, okay? So the best way to do that is to look at those keywords and say, okay, what's my advertising budget? How can I advertise for these? Because Amazon ranks you for sales or for those keywords, and based on your sales and especially conversions for those keywords. So people need to be looking more at focusing on conversions, not on keywords. Keywords, Amazon has long ago started saying, okay, well, that's really cute. You put these 20 keywords in there and you think you're going to rank ahead of 10,000 other people. But unless you pay us money to rank you ahead of that and get the sales involved, and that's what our customers actually want, and they type in, anti-aging cream, and yours pops up and yours is the one they buy, they're not going to rank you any higher than anybody else for it, right? And they might temporarily for 30 days. There's that 30-day window or so. But who wants to have a business that does well for 30 days?
Right.
Right? Don't you want a business that does well for a long time and that makes you money every single month and that you don't have to stress about? That would be the business where you have high conversions, right? Not the one where you're focused on, okay, I need to rank for this 1 keyword or these 3 keywords. What a lot of people don't understand is if you look down at the, like the midway down your keyword list, right? And you've got a bunch of keywords that are like 1,000, 5,000, 2,000 per month, right? It's their keyword search volume. And that's just an estimate, obviously,
right.
It's always an estimate. Then if you add all of those up and you can rank for all of those keywords, you'll start getting sales for those keywords. And as your sales go up Amazon's going to start looking at ranking you for those other bigger keywords. But a lot of people head straight to the top, and we always put a few in from the top just because it's what the human brain is looking for, right? It's more about what the human brain is looking for, not because you want to rank specifically for that keyword tomorrow. You know, you want to look a lot at what other keywords can I use and, you know, advertise for that have, if I combine them all together, I have a lot of volume. There's a lot less competition down there. And that's how you start gaining towards the top, not by focusing on these, you know, the long tail keywords that, you know, let's say you have 40,000 searches a month and I just want to rank for this one keyword and I want to be in position 1. Well, you don't get there without following these other steps first, right? I call it Amazon cycle of love. You got to love on Amazon a little bit at the lower end to get to the higher end. So
now those converting keywords, how do you, I have an app that will show me the best converting keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is, you know, it's great. There's no thinking behind it. How do you find the best converting keywords?
I take all of the data from about 5 of those apps and I run it through my own personal macro.
Okay.
Which gives me a score of under, because I was actually, one of my majors was statistics, right? And so I look at that and I look for a score under 1, right? And that gives me what I call a competitive analysis score. And as opposed to saying, okay, well, these are going to be the ones that are the best buyer keywords because they are, obviously, that's why people are advertising for them. These are going to be the ones that are going to get us in the door. It's about being the small store in the right place with a ton of traffic, you know, with a ton of traffic as opposed to being the big store with a ton of brand marketing, right? So we look at the competitive analysis side of things every single time, and that's how I decide which keywords to rank people for. And Helium 10 is something very similar to what I do. Mine is just a little bit different. It's more on the human psychology side as well. So I look at a lot of the side keywords. People, they'll come back and they'll say, okay, I see my listing and I see you've infused 10 keywords. And I'm like, actually, there is 19. But you don't know about the other ones because they're side keywords. They're not on your list because I don't want you to advertise for them. These are just keywords we know based on the 5 levels of customer awareness that people are going to be looking for, right? And searching for outside of Amazon. So
where's the importance of weaving in these keywords? We know that title, you know, you've got to get that main keyword.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you plan this out?
How do I plan out the keywords?
Yeah, how do you interweave it, you know, through the listing? Where from? Okay, main keyword. What other types of keywords are you putting in? Are you putting in an additional phrase? Are you then going over to search terms? Like, kind of, can you help me figure out the methodology?
The methodology is pretty simple. Month 1. So where I come in is I take my analysis and I put the keywords in. We aim for a high volume keyword, like the one everybody wants to rank for in the title, obviously, only because the human brain's looking for that. That's the most common keyword. And we want the human brain to see, oh, that's what I need, right? That's right there. That's what I want, right? And then we look at the medium volume keywords and we infuse those into the title. Okay. I do really approve of the breaking up large long tail keywords and infusing as many of the smaller parts into the title for the search terms into the title as I can, as long as your title is getting a high click-through rate. And I still call it click-through rate because I'm not just in Amazon, right? As long as you're getting all the clicks on Amazon. And then when you go down through the bullet points, my general rule is I write for conversions first and I use a keyword bracket, right? Don't ever write for keywords, ever write for keywords. The search engines don't have wallets, right? So you write for conversions first. And then I go back through and I look at, okay, according to my analysis, what are going to be the keywords we want to rank for first? Second, third, fourth, because I'm looking at the Amazon cycle of love, right? And those are the ones that go first, as long as they fit well. Sometimes they go into the second bullet point. Amazon they only, this is what they say they do, although we found it to be very wonky. They say they only index the first 1,000 characters, right? We found that to be completely inaccurate. So otherwise, sometimes they'll skip over bullet point 1, right? They won't index anything from bullet point 1. And we'll contact them and say, why aren't you indexing this? And they'll say, well, we don't really have a reason. The machines just don't like it. Everything is perfect. It's, so then we have to move the keywords around. It's kind of a song and dance. Then at 30 days, right? Here's the big kicker that a lot of people don't do. They kind of take the everything's awesome approach with their listing and say, okay, my conversions are great. What they don't do is they don't go back and look at their keyword report and say, these are the ones I'm getting the most sales for. So these are the ones I should be trying to rank for organically, and then go and change out their keywords. Right. So if you don't change out your keywords, Amazon's not going to continue to rank you for them as highly organically. And you want to have the ones that you're spending the most money on and getting the most conversions from be in your listing, right? And you don't know precisely what those are until you're 30 days out. And sometimes 45 or 60 days out. And then you keep refreshing that. Like, the listing is an ongoing thing. And I do have clients that come back to me and say, hey, I would like, it looks like we're getting all our sales over here. I would like to have you swap out the keywords. And I say, awesome, I can totally do that. That's why you have 365 days of unlimited edits and optimization, so that people come back, because I don't want to say, okay, great, we have this great thing and we're converting at 36%, but we're spending all this money on marketing over here and we could be spending less on marketing. Because the less you spend on marketing, that you don't need to, then the more you have in terms of profit at the end of the month. So
you got to see this. Just one sec. Oh my
What am I
God.
seeing?
Come here, up here. He's not going to do it. My dog is come into the room and he had a bandana over his nose. He looked like a bandit. And anyways,
That's awesome.
it was hilarious. I was breaking up and he was, anyways, I'm just grabbing a coffee here. Thank you.
That's great. And I know I sound really intense about this, but it's like, I
so
have been
important.
talking about this for 5 years. And it's really important that people understand that. We write for conversions, we infuse keywords, we go back and check our keywords, and most sellers can just do it themselves in 5 minutes, swap out the keywords, right? So they don't want to come back and talk to me, which is great. I'm happy with that. But really important, write for conversions, split test. Make sure that you have the highest performing copy possible, play with it a little bit yourself. If you go through your reviews and you start seeing people are using the same word over and over again, put that word in your title, right? Even though it's not a keyword, it's an anchor word. People are like, oh, these people get me. Let's do that, right? Just super simple things you can do to continually boost your conversions.
So let's just do a quick poll here. Anybody who's listening, do you swap out over the next, over a 30-day launch? Is anybody using that technique? I'm just kind of curious. We got quite a few listeners right now and just wanted to see if any of them do that, because Stephen Pope, he's been on the podcast a few times. Really great guy. He knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. He just said exactly what you said. And he does it in a 3-phase. He's going to a 4-phase keyword cycle. But it's not about just setting it and leaving it and saying, hey, everything's going to be great just because you're getting some sales. Well, maybe you get 5 sales a day, but if you do this properly, you can bump that up to 20 sales a
20,
day.
50, 100, 100.
Yeah,
That's how you guys are getting these. That's how they're dropping. People are like, we're still about the ACOS. I don't remember. I'm like, I didn't sleep at all last night. The baby was up all night. So I'm sure that's not the formal comment, but they're still about the, we're spending this much per word. Okay. So we're really looking at how much money are you making at the end of the month? Where can you cut down on what you're spending without harming your product or your customers, right? You never want to cut down on product quality. You never want to cut down on your traffic volume. You want to look at the smart ways in which you can slice money out of what you're spending in your business. One of the smartest ways is if you're getting all these sales for this keyword, you should have it in your listing organically. And it doesn't necessarily show up. Like, we've had the wildest people who launched on Amazon. I like the first 2 months, I love working with that group of people because they're like, even people coming out of marketing from other areas, right? People who've run service companies and they've done e-com sales funnels and they've used Google, right? They've used Google traffic and YouTube traffic and Facebook and Instagram. And now what do they have? Like what's the dancing when all the kids are like watching I can't even think of what that is. What is that? The TikTok. I don't know. I'm chuggy apparently. Like I'm almost 40. I'm chuggy. I'm not cool anymore. TikTok, the TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. So people coming out of these traffic sources, they go to Amazon. They're like, I don't understand this. This is the word that I'm getting all these sales for. And it's like cat toy purple, 3-pack or something ridiculous. Right. And I'm like, okay, great. So now we need to figure out how to put cat toy purple 3-pack, which in the title is easy. I mean, obviously cat toy purple 3-pack, super easy, right? How do you infuse that into your bullet points, at the continued words? And they don't understand that when people are searching on Amazon, their search intent is different, right? So on Google, a lot of times people are looking for an answer to solve a problem. When they go to Amazon, usually they're already at the level where they know the problem they want to solve. They already understand the main solution they're looking for, right? So like the anti-aging cream, right? And so they have these weird keyword terms. They're like, this can't be right. No one would ever type in cat toys purple 3-pack, right? I'm like, no, actually they will type in cat and you're ranking for it. So like you're doing really well with that keyword. Like, let's dominate with that keyword. And they're like, but I really want this one that has, 100,000 searches per month. I'm like, but you're making 30 sales a day off this one, like money, right? Let's follow the money. Let's not follow the analytics. Once you get past the analytics, you've got to follow the money, right? Because you can't pay your light bill with keyword search volume. It doesn't work. You need conversions, and then you need to cut the fat off your advertising campaign.
Right. And one of the things when, excuse me, too many cigars, just give me 1 second. All right. So when we're doing our keyword research, one of the things that we and I've mentioned this before, but I think it's very important for our VAs to understand that there are browsing and buying keywords. Now, some of the people that listen to the podcast probably already hear me talking about that, but let's go back and talk about, I'm a pet owner, I own a dog, but I type in pet chew. And you see hundreds of thousands of people putting in pet chew or pet treats. That is a browsing keyword. It's not a specific keyword. Then you go dog chew. Well, I have a dog, I got to chew. That's still a browsing keyword. Then you put in bully stick.
Bully sticks.
Well, that's a buying keyword, but it's going to cost you $20 a click, and you'll never rank unless you got big bucks to put in for bully stick. So what you're looking for is what we call a primary long tail. What's the next volume down, which could be natural bully sticks, organic bully sticks. We
bully
take
stick
that.
10-pack.
Yeah. And then you go and find long tails on those.
Yeah, you're looking for the long tails because, most people are, unless like maybe the top 5 competitors will be competing for those, but they're already getting the ones for dog chew because they have all the money because they were the first ones on the market with bully sticks, right? So, they can afford to do that. But yeah, the longer the keyword, look for those really long tail keywords. And if you can, I love sneak, like I get a high when I sneak these ridiculous keywords into listings. Like, because you have to really think sometimes when you're doing this for these the ones that don't make sense to the natural language pattern in your human brain, right? And that's where I start getting really excited. It turns into a game for me. Like, how do I sneak this in?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be an exact phrase. You can spritz them around, and
you can.
As long as they're, I believe, within, I don't know if this is still accurate, but it used to be 15 words apart. They will mash together with the algorithm. And so it doesn't have to be the exact phrase.
Yeah, I usually work within I say 70 characters apart. And so we can sneak them in, just like you can sneak in anti and aging, right?
Oh, sneaky.
Oh, but you still don't want to try to rank for just anti-aging. I mean, because you think about the companies, the brands that have, they're spending millions of dollars a day, like L'Oreal, Maybelline, these big guys. And we just don't have that. I mean, do you have $1 million sitting around and you're just going to want to throw out the word anti-aging every single day? And
Kelsey does.
Good job. Good for you, Kelsey. I would not do that personally. Like, that's not on I have 5 kids and a bonus kid. Like, we are, we're looking at college. We're, I do not have that kind of money. Anti-aging is not on my keyword list of I'm going to go spend $1 million a day to try to dominate L'Oreal space. Right. So yeah, I mean, you can sneak them in that way. Absolutely. You can sneak them in. One of my favorite ways to sneak them in is, if you look underneath your, where EBC A+ section is, and you look at the image description, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know about the image description section?
Yep.
So you can sneak those in, and then Google will start ranking you for them, and Yahoo will start ranking you for them, and Bing will try to rank you for them. And, Bing search engine is a little bit wonky. So you can sneak them in there too. And
we've been doing a lot with images lately. And Paul Barron was talking about this on his Clubhouse the other day. But all of our images that we do, no matter if it's a social media image, everything that we publish, we change the name of the file name. And in Amazon, by the way, you put the ASIN, and then the first image should be the ASIN name, but we still do ASIN and then keyword. But when we're publishing them out in our social media, we change it. We change the metadata. So we will rank in Google Images. So if somebody's looking for bully sticks, hopefully they find us. But yeah, that's just another way to help rank.
I'm surprised, honestly, with the way my brain works. If you were to go and find a bunch of people to JV with on YouTube who have huge sales or who have a huge following for dogs, and have them, because YouTube ranks higher than images on Google, have them tuck your ASIN in there and your link and use the metadata and, pay them a percentage or, pay them a short fee for like borrowing or buying their channel for a short period of time or the channel space. I mean, imagine how much traffic you can get if you have somebody who's hitting that and they have something that says, check out the special deal below. And then, I mean, imagine how well you'd rank then. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain does that. It's
there's so many ways.
Yeah.
All right. One other thing before I get into the next topic, which will be kind of interesting, but all right. So let's dig into the vault of secrets. What are you doing differently that our listeners can do right now to help optimize their listing, other than the other things you've been saying?
Than the images?
Yeah.
I am trying to embed as many hypnotic anchors as I can into images right now. That's really what I'm doing.
I love this, by the way. So let's explain what a hypnotic. I've been telling people about this ever since our last podcast.
Okay. So a hypnotic anchor, I use that in two different ways, right? So when we create a hypnotic anchor for your product that is a word, right? It's usually two to three words combined together, right? So an example that I could give is like age release technology, right? Instead of saying anti-aging, age release technology. You're actually anchoring that into the brain because you're combining things. The brain doesn't have to think as hard about processing the information of like, what does that actually mean? And then when they go to search other listings, they're not going to see age release technology anywhere, right? So it's going to be anchored into their brain is like, this is a feature of this. And I really like this. I really like this for this product, but it's not anywhere else. It's like, is it Hoover that uses like vortex technology? They can suck up
Yeah.
That's a hypnotic anchor, right? So that's a hypnotic word anchor, essentially, right? And you can do that with your product features. You want to do that with your product features if you can. In most listings, it's appropriate. In some listings, it's not appropriate. If you're selling something that's like heirloom quality art supplies, or something that's really high end, you're not going to want to, like a high end wine decanter. You're not necessarily going to want to use a hypnotic anchor, right? Slightly different crowd. You can still sneak in hypnotic anchors, but you do it without creating something that's high tech, right? And then on the images, you want to be looking at, what are the anchors that build trust, right? You're looking at the seals. You're looking at like if it's made in the USA, the American flag. You're looking at, or if it's something where people want to buy it from Germany, like a knife, right? Knives from Germany, anything that's metal from Germany, people anchor that as high quality.
Yep.
Things like that. You want to look at how can you anchor specific emotions within your listing. So you're looking at like the images. People are like, oh, lifestyle image, right? I want to show people who are happy. Okay. Happy is like one of many emotions, and it's not actually the emotion that sells the most. Okay. So they're like, okay, happy. So look at the wheel of emotions and say, okay, which emotions on here are going to cause my customer to want to buy this product, right? And how do I transition through those emotions? So am I showing something that's negative first and then positive, right? A lot of people are like before and after. So that's one example of negative and positive, right? We also want to go through and look at like what color schemes you're using in your pictures. And I started giving guidance on that. How do you have borders? Where are you using, is this the kind of image where you want to use an arrow? Is it that crowd? Or you need to use a line in a box? Is it be more structured looking? Anything that's like, you're kind of looking at their identity, because if it's more of a structured, there's just so much. If you're selling to more of a structured crowd, you want your images to look more structured. But if you're selling to more of a fun, whimsical crowd, like I did one yesterday that's 10 bullet points. The 10 bullet point thing is blowing my mind. We're going to talk about that in a minute. That I did one yesterday where it's like more of a like I love you, hugs and kisses, like woo, like my 12-year-old daughter is, they use like fun slang terms. Do you want your images to look more whimsical? One thing we've been using to sell pet listings a lot higher is speaking from the point of the pet, right? Mm-hmm. If you're selling something like oh my God, there's one we wrote that was so funny. I couldn't even stop laughing, but like it's converting. So it works, right? So looking at just the different, anchors and identity you can put in those images, and then also through your listing. I feel like I just talked in like about 10 different things there. What is up with 10 bullet points? Okay. Yes. Does everybody here now have access to 10 bullet points? Because I've got some people with access to 5 at 100 characters, 5 at 249 characters, 5 at 500 characters. And I've got people coming through with like, we have 10 bullet points. And I contact Amazon. They're like, no one should have 10 bullet points. And someone else says, everyone should have 10 bullet points. And I'm like, okay, I need a straight answer. Who knows about 10 bullet points? What's the story with this?
This is all over the place. Yeah. No. Some are search term subject matter was replaced a little while ago.
Okay.
And as soon as that happened, we saw some of our clients have 10 bullet points.
Mhm.
However, some of the subject matter was removed. Nothing had changed.
Right?
We're seeing exactly what you're seeing. If anybody has a different
Rhyme or
answer,
reason.
let me know
Yeah.
because it's all over the map.
I really want to rhyme or reason to this so I can explain it to my clients. And I've contacted Amazon 11, 12 times now, and every single person has a different answer. Nobody can tell me if it's category specific.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me who's rolled forward and who's still back stuck here. Some people are still asking for subject matter keywords saying, we still have them. So can we have them? Like, sure, of course you can have them. Some people have 10 bullet points. Some people have 5. It's just all over the place. And I don't know if Amazon's like split testing or trying to drive us insane. Not really sure, but it'd be great to know,
Well, hopefully that'll be explained, just like the glitch on the weekend. I don't know if you heard about that.
What happened on the weekend?
Oh my gosh. Probably the biggest hiccup in Amazon history. So I thought I was going to have I was going to go out and have a cigar, sit down, relax, get my feet up. No, that didn't happen. Everybody and his mother, like all my clients, just hitting me up. What's happening to our listings? We can't find our organic listings. They're gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Everything just disappeared. Yeah.
Until around 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody knew what was going on. But anyways, they're back now. But a lot of people lost a lot of money, because of it. Probably Amazon Basics were still there.
Amazon released some new law, like you can no longer use words in your listing, because we're for a while there we were headed there. When Amazon was like, well, you can't use any of this in your listing. And so anybody, if we're in and on the body categories, beauty, health, et cetera, it was like, you can't say anything. So we figured out all these great ways to like get around saying anything while saying everything at the same time. It was so much fun using the NLP and the conversational hypnosis. So that's crazy when they mess up ranking.
With these hooks that you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you start realizing what they are, they're everywhere. All the big brands are using them. Like you watch TV. I've been telling my wife
I've been manipulated my whole life, and now I see it. My eyes are open. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry.
No, it's great because oh wow, yeah. I'll search, and you're exactly right. I'll search. Oh, this one doesn't have the vortex power. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it can't be good if it doesn't have the vortex, pulling power.
Pick up a bowling ball, and you can pick up a bowling ball every single day. Like that's what you need to do. So you need to pick up a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, if you're listening and you haven't tried that out, give that a shot because that does give you a unique advantage. That's your USP. So let's see. I want to just mention we're 45 minutes in. Okay. So we are having a double draw today in case you're just tuning in. The first one is hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, and it's just for a minor $1,400 consult with Diane and it's the full package. Your Amazon listing will be uplifted. It'll be a facelift, complete facelift. The second one, it is our largest giveaway ever. Again, Diane has generously given us a $25,000 package, and that is hashtag wow. It's incredible. I'm not going to get into it because it'll give me a half hour to explain it, but it's a major consult. So anyways, Diane, I've been hearing...
Good job, Mark. I have 10 bullet points. Sorry, I just saw that on the screen.
Okay.
Make sure you tell your sales copywriter that before you double check people. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but good job, Mark.
I can't see, anything. Kelsey's got to read
Kelsey, tell him. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Kelsey doesn't listen, so he won't come on anyways. But anyway.
What was that?
Oh, he is.
What was that? Huh?
See? Wasn't listening. Wasn't listening. All right. One of the keywords I'm hearing now, and I'm hearing a lot of it, is I hope I'm saying this right, neuro-linguistic copy. Like what are, and did I say that right?
Neuro-linguistic.
See, I knew I would. I'm an old guy. So those big words really hurt. Multisyllabic words hurt my head. Multisyllabic words hurt my head.
Ooh, that's a big word. There you go.
Usually I stick to the one syllable ones, but I've heard this come up numerous times since our last call, and more people are talking about this. let's talk about how first understanding what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And you did this, maybe this is just out in left field, but you did this with the CIA, didn't you?
Not on this podcast, I didn't.
Not on this one.
No, okay. So no, I have not. Okay. So I have been brought in as a consultant several times for multiple government agencies, not just ours, to help write these really fun little letters that set off a chain effect of actions that help to save fun situations.
Okay.
And that was years ago. But
you won't mention the organization.
My grandpa was in the CIA, my brother, we've got a lot of family members in there. So a lot of this stuff comes from just knowledge of like covert CIA, phrases used and transitioning those into the marketing side of things. But with neuro-linguistic programming, it's more about sleight of, and conversational hypnosis as well. It's more about sleight of word phrases, right? So what we're looking for there is what are all the things you can say that are causing someone, or not say, that are causing someone to throw up their subconscious wall, their subconscious barrier, so they won't buy. And what do we say to drop those down so they feel safe to buy and they feel like you have their best interest at heart, right? And that goes back to the logical levels, which is like, how do we align our identity that we're like them, right? Of course, we have all the phrases that I talk about, like the claim, no claim, and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. But how do we identify that how do we make them feel like we're like them? We understand them. We're on the same team. We're sitting next to them in a coffee shop. We're best friends, right? How do we help them? How do we reposition their beliefs, right? One that a lot of people forget about is capability. Here's a big tip that a lot of people don't realize. Your customer's biggest reason for not buying is not that they don't think it'll work for them. It's that they think they can't do it. They think they can't make it work, right? So if you have a product and you're looking at it like, okay, well, how do I boost conversions? Look at how you can make the customer feel better about, if you can't make it work for you, we'll help you make it work for you. It's not just about refunds, right? Like we'll like a lot of companies, like tech companies will be like, we'll jump on the phone with you, right? We'll help you. And no one's ever going to call because they're going to be embarrassed that it doesn't work for them. Right. But it's also going to lower your refund rate. But people are really afraid that they don't have the confidence, like I can't make this particular product work for me. And that goes from everything from art supplies to, and it sounds really silly, but just, think about it. People are like, well, what if this doesn't elevate me to the level I want to be at? Right. Art supplies to supplements to, people talk about removing the objections. The biggest objection is within ourselves. So try to think of it from their perspective too. Like, what would I see in this product that would make me think this won't work for me? Right. Like, oh, okay, well, we've started using hypnotic anchors that have to do with genetics, and you're not allowed to talk about genetics on Amazon, obviously, but that have to do with genetics, because people think like, okay, well, my mom was overweight and I'm overweight, and so it's just a family genetic thing. So it talks about, like cellular, repositioning technology, which would probably get us flagged on Amazon, but something along those lines, right? Like epigenetic reverse technology. Because epigenetic triggers, and I don't know if you know about all that stuff. You might, no. Like Dawson Church, all that fun stuff. So, sorry. So yeah, I mean, it's we were talking about. Give me a second here. I'm trying to circle back and neuro-linguistic programming. So usually it's I started off using it as sleight of mouth phrases. I was a paralegal previously, and I was going to go to Yale Law School, and I decided that I'd rather have a family than spend 100 hours a week as an attorney. So I started looking into like persuasion. Things like that, like how do you persuade people into doing things? I wanted to be a senator at one point in time, so that kind of tied into being persuasive. And then it went into like the realm of success, and then I kind of integrated both of those into my life. But neuro-linguistic is, just how do you calm the human brain to the point and move the ego out of the way so somebody will buy your stuff, right? Like the simplest, it's like, 150-hour training kind of thing. It's hard to boil down into one thing. I'm so sorry. And my brain's all over the place this morning.
Maybe what we can do is because this isn't a 5-minute topic.
No.
Let's bring you on again in a couple months, and we can have the whole podcast based around that.
Yeah, we should do it in September when all the parents have sent all their kids back to school.
There we go.
Fingers crossed. And, then I will have like a brain, and the baby will be old enough. He was up teething all night last night. My brain's like, woo, neurolinguistics.
Now, prior to the podcast, you were talking to Kelsey a little bit about the 5 logical levels of customer awareness.
Oh, yeah. So 5 levels of customer awareness,
Yeah.
which are, when someone goes to buy your product, right? They're coming from 5 different points. And it's not necessarily your product. When someone goes to, let me reverse that. Because that's why your product isn't falling in there and getting purchased, right? So when someone goes to purchase a product, right, they're going to really solve a problem. So their first thought is at customer awareness level 1, most people think, okay, well, I know this brand, Hoover. I'm going to look for the best Hoover to suck up the dirt, because dirt sucking, clean carpets is what they want. That's their end game. Dirt sucking is what they want to do. Pet hair sucking, in my case. So they'll say, okay, well, I know Hoover. They've brand advertised. So I'm going to go look for Hoover. I'm going to go look for Hoover. I'm going to look for Hoover. I want the best price on a Hoover, right? That's customer awareness level 1. And we can sneak in there by advertising for, things surrounding Hoover, right? Customer awareness level 2 is, I know I have a problem. I know what kind of solution I want, right? So like, I know I want a vacuum. I don't need an air purifier to suck up the dust and the pet hair and the dander. I need a vacuum. So like, okay, I'm going to look for the best vacuum. And that's where hypnotic anchors come in, right? And so you'd be advertising for all the keywords for, like best vacuum, right? Things like that. Customer awareness level 3 is they have the problem. They know there is a solution. They're going to find a solution, but they haven't settled on the type of solution. So maybe they're looking for a vacuum. They're looking for considering an air purifier. They're considering, changing out their floors. Like maybe we should just get hardwood floors. They're looking for one of those little and then they're looking for steam mops. I mean, those are where you look for a lot of your side keywords, right? Customer awareness level 4 are the people who we get with the how questions by linking back from advertorials and blog articles, right? And videos, like links below videos for like, how do I keep my house clean from pet hair? How do I keep the allergens out of the air? Those how-to type questions, because they realize they have a problem, but they don't realize there's a child about to burst into this room. Just a warning, everybody. Hi, what are you doing? Sorry, it's my 6-year-old Tegan. Oh. So customer awareness level 4 is they realize they have a problem, or they don't really realize what their full problem is first yet, and they're going through they're finding the solution, right? So like, is there a solution? They're still at the disbelief level, like, oh my God, there's pet hair everywhere. I've got it all over my clothes. I've got it all over everything. People don't want to come to my house. It's so embarrassing,
Bring Tegan on the podcast. There we go.
Well, I would, but that's Derek. That's my future husband. He just
okay.
He runs a full-time, very successful financial strategy business, and he just needed to grab his cell phone charger. We have a full house here. We've got a nanny. We've got 5 kids running around. It's Wednesdays. They do school from home. It's crazy. So I apologize, but we love everybody. We're good. It's a family business here, like this really family business. So customer awareness level 4, they either know they have a problem and they're researching the solution, or they're still researching what the problem is. That's where you use like I said, those backlinked articles to your product. A lot of people call it native advertising. You can do native advertising for that now, like sponsored advertising. And then customer awareness level 5, we always have to hit. And those are the people who are skeptical. I've tried the beauty cream. I've tried the beauty serum. I've tried the beauty face mask. I've tried the beauty scrub. I've tried the electrolaser therapy. I've tried all the things to make me look 30 instead of 40, right? I've tried all the things and nothing is working. So how do I know that this product will work, right? And you have to, and that's where the capability part comes in. And that's where they kind of start tying in, right? On all of them, you tie in the 5 logical levels to the 5 customer awareness levels and see where your psychology is of your customer.
We'll give Kelsey some homework today, and he'll have to post those 5 levels, and we'll make sure that you are quoted in it.
Oh, thank you. I told him I'd write some blog. He was asking if I could write some blog articles. I said, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Let's help people. For some people, seeing it in writing makes a lot more sense than hearing me talk at 400 miles an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some questions. I'm sure there is a few.
This is my favorite part. Bring it.
Yeah, there are a few for sure. I think we broke a record for amount of entries today. I've been nonstop just typing in names. So thank you, everyone. But if you want to see Diane back, hit those like buttons. And tell us what you want to hear. Let's jump into the questions from Kyle. I have a seasonal product that changes every few months where different people, markets will buy it. Should I swap out the keywords in the title to speak to them or keep them all at all times? Keep them all in.
So that would depend on why they're changing the reason they buy it. And that makes me wonder why you don't just have the same product under 2 different brands for 2 different erotic anchors and selling to both markets. Because you're going to use the same amount of storage space. You would just split, and then you're actually going to maximize by not having to change out. Double rank for both keywords, acquire the customers in the back end, acquire the information, and then cross-market both your brand products. But otherwise, yeah, if you want the simple thing, you can swap out the keywords in the title to speak to them. Yeah. But you have to know your cycles first, right? I'm assuming, Kyle, you know your business cycles?
And we'll see if he responds back.
Comments, I'll bring it back up. Okay, so our next one is from Usman. When you optimize a listing, does it immediately take effect? And how much conversion does it increase after the optimization?
When you optimize a listing, does it immediately take effect? That depends on how Amazon search engines are feeling that day. So there's so many different points to optimizing a listing. So not always, but we hope that Amazon, at least indexes a good percentage of it within 48 hours. How much conversion does it increase after optimization? It depends on where you're at and where you're starting from, what the competition is. So my average conversions are like 37% for my listings. Some people are only at like 18% because they're in high, they're in very high competition markets like bully sticks, or maybe they're doing an anti-aging cream, right? Amazon's average conversions for writing your own listing or for hiring a standard copywriter is 6%. So it just depends. What I run off of is what I call the 10x guarantee, which means you're guaranteed to make 10 times more in revenue than you invest with me within 6 months of hiring me for optimization. And then you have 365 days of unlimited edits. So really there's no like one, I know everybody wants a solid answer, but there's no like one, okay, well, if you do this, your listing's going to go up 50%. We don't have enough data. We're working on creating something that allows us access to that data, but the Google Cloud alone for that costs $150,000 a month. And in order to have an answer to that question, we'd have to be able to monitor the conversions of every top performing listing on page 1 for every single major high volume keyword, and then go down from there. And that's just a lot of data. So there's no one solid answer, but we're working on it. Someday we will have that.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. From Fatiha, would your strategy work whatever the product is? For example, what if there's a product you don't think is a good choice as a product? Would you still go ahead and work with them, or would you decline?
Why would it not be a good choice as a product? So if there's low search volume, okay, so there's a couple, okay. So I like a good challenge, right? Mm-hmm. I love a good challenge. So I don't look at products. The only reason a product is not a good choice as a product, if you've already ordered it and you're stuck in the muck and you've spent all your money, is if it's bad for your customers, right? Your job with your product is to do the best you can for your customers. And then, of course, on your end to maximize sales. So I would look at the different ways you can reposition that product. What else can you sell it as? Who else can you sell it to? What other keywords can you be using? Can you group it with another product? Can you JV with another seller and sell it together with something where it makes sense, where you're both making money off of it, right? It's not just always about selling your one product that you've purchased, because a lot of people, the first product they choose, it's not a home run, right? Or the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth. It just makes them a little bit of money so they can scale up, right? So I would say the only way it's a really bad product is if it doesn't have the features and benefits that the consumer needs, or it's a lie to the consumer because it doesn't actually do as you say it does, which those are ones I don't touch. Like we don't lie about what something does,
right?
Because we'll hurt the consumer, and that'll hurt your business, and that's against my ethical code. So
yeah, and I'm not ever worried about going up against a low cost, usually Chinese sellers. We build out not only in copy, but the perceived value. So, there's some people, and I've talked to a lot of people, feel that a lot of sellers or buyers are all buying low end. It's all about price, and that has nothing to do with it. You can go, there are going to be a lot of people making pennies, but I can show you a million examples of where just packaging and perception, copy makes the difference.
Perception.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and here's the thing, guys. So the average family that buys off of Amazon, these are not the people who are necessarily, they're not looking for low cost. They're looking for value.
Right.
It's all about positioning. There's a lot of us, people don't realize that the average consumer looking for value is actually in the upper middle class, the upper section of the middle class sector on Amazon. Now, those aren't the ones looking for like the mugs and the shirts and things like that. We're talking about people looking for high quality premium products. The average Amazon consumer who makes good money will spend a lot more for value and to showcase their identity and for something that works than they'll ever spend on a Chinese cheap crap knockoff. Like no one in my house is ever going to buy anything like that. No one in my neighborhood will. I don't know anybody who will buy those products except for, not your customer. And remember that not every customer is your customer. You don't want to try to ever cater to the people who are looking to get the most out of you for the least amount of money, right? That's not good for you. It's not good for your family. It's not good for your business, and it's not good for them, right? Yeah. So go for the people who you know your product's going to be best for and have confidence that it's an amazing product, and position it as such and then sell it and scale. This is a real thing. Like we're not buying widgets and for $1 and selling them for $3, and competing with China. We're really like every product we have is out there trying to solve a problem for somebody.
The beard comb. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's just a sandalwood comb. I don't have it around right now, but I bought it for 79 cents. Okay. On Amazon. There was another one, $11.95, another one at $17.95. It was the same factory, same beard comb, but it was packaged different. I just went on to Amazon and I saw this 79-cent beard comb branded, I think it was the Art of Shaving or something.
Art of Shaving. Yep.
$30.
Yep. And they're selling it.
It's the same beard comb.
Selling like crazy. Yep. It's identical. It's positioning.
Yep. It is.
It's also... Art of Shaving has anchored themselves as a brand that really cares about their customer. And the Chinese companies, and no offense to anybody who's from a Chinese company or any, manufacturing company, a lot of the people who are trying to compete with American Amazon sellers or sellers who are selling on Amazon USA, they don't have the time to care. They're mass production. And you'll always have the people who buy from mass production. And that's okay. Those same people go to the dollar store a lot and buy stuff that, lasts for like a month. And that's totally fine. It takes all types, right? But if you show your people that you care, you can sell something, not necessarily a comb without $1 million in marketing, like Art of Shaving. But you can sell something for a lot more, right? And be reasonable about it. Like try to position yourself midway in the market. Don't try to sell a comb for $50 tomorrow that you bought for $1 if you don't know how to position correctly, right? That's not something I ever encourage. But yeah, it's.
What's this? Wait, that 79-cent comb was on Amazon. Yes. That's it. Like I can actually show you 79 cents. I don't know why or how. If you go on to Amazon right now and you'll see that 79 cent, I think you get 2 for $1.39 or something. I don't know. I don't know how or what or where they made their money because there's Amazon fees. So anyways, next question. Okay,
from Victor. How do you handle plurals and conjunctions? Because A9 ignores them.
Plurals, they'll still see as singular. So we just put them in as you would naturally speak them because your best friend wouldn't stop using an S on the end of something because, suddenly Amazon decides they shouldn't. And we're looking at a lot of conversions. And then conjunctions, same things. Amazon, it says A9 ignores them, but we found that, if there's a conjunction in a keyword search term, which there usually isn't, right? Amazon's not going to ignore that. But I mean, I would love an example of a conjunction in a keyword search term that's high volume enough to worry about that you can't just advertise for on the back end.
Okay.
Right.
From an idiot on 2 wheels. So neuro-linguistic is how to induce confidence into people to use the product properly.
Oh no! But it looks like there's a YouTube channel. I'm going to go look at that after this. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Induce confidence into people who to use. Oh, well, that's something you can do with neuro-linguistic programming. That's a very small part of it. But yeah, it's important to induce confidence into people that your product will give them the results and that they will be able to use it to get those results. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. From Amar, I am entering a market where I'm adding an added value product to my main product. Should I also attempt to rank on both of them or just on the main product since the added value product is a different market?
Amar, it's going to very wildly depend. So you're going to have to contact me. Norm, do you have my email address?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Norm will make sure you guys get the email address and then contact me and I'll look at the products for you and let you know what to do because we can't, it's like, you need an expert's. Yeah. Unless you want to tell me what the products are right now, and then I can go tell you. I never advocate for adding a product just for the sake of adding a product to add value, because just because you spent more money and you're adding a product doesn't necessarily mean the customer will see it as higher value, right? So just a basic on that one.
Okay. This is just a little comment from Marcia. Well, it's a bit reassuring to hear that you two experts can get a straight answer from Amazon either. They're the craziest company ever to try to work with. Holy cow, they're aging me day by day.
Oh, I love you so much. I swear to God. Yeah, Amazon is, they are, like I said, I spent the last few years helping people reposition so all their eggs aren't just in their Amazon basket, like into their own sales funnels and, growing their companies and things like that, because Amazon will, as you well know, Amazon slap you and knock you off. And like, I had a client a couple months ago where they just didn't even tell them. They got a notice that they had just taken and burned all their products.
Yeah.
Because some random factory somewhere had some ingredient that wasn't even involved with them, wasn't their factory. Everything of theirs was made in the US, and they had to go after Amazon. Like, I've met so many lovely attorneys who specialize in Amazon and business growth at this point in time. Like, Amazon is, they're so big, but there's no such thing as too big to fail, as we found out in like 2008 and 2011. So you always got to keep an eye. They're just a platform where you can sell your product. That's not the only place you should be selling your product ever. Right.
So I see that Victor had an answer.
Yeah, so you said I meant duplicating those. So for example, dog leash and collar versus dog leash collar.
I put it in its natural language, but if we have a better keyword than dog leash and collar, dog leash collar, that makes more sense analytically to put in there, then I would just put in one or the other. It depends on the analytics, what the macros say. We have to follow the numbers and follow the money. So in that particular case, like if dog leash and collar, we found out that it was a much better way to rank, then we would use dog leash and collar. And we might also use dog leash collar as well. It just depends on, that's why every listing it's so different. People want specific answers. And like, if you're talking about positioning, yes. If you're talking about keywords, I'd have to actually go and look at all the data, right? And Amazon also changes, like people say, oh, A9, it's one ranking algorithm and it does one thing. No, A9 is there's no mutually exclusive way that A9 works. It's a whole ton of different AIs working in the background. And that's why you see some people using anti-aging and some people can't. And some people using antimicrobial, antibacterial and getting away with it, and some people can't, because it's a whole collection of AI bots. It's not just like one, people think of it as like one freeway, right? Like there's one freeway. If Amazon only had one freeway for all that traffic to drive through, they would collapse and freeze every single day. There's multiple, and not all of them are optimized the exact same way, because you've got a ton of different programmers working on all of them and not enough people to double check it. Interesting thing. Did you know that Amazon's AWS makes them way more money per dollar spent right now than all of their private label sellers per dollar spent? And so they've actually been funneling all of their money towards their AWS and growing that service, as opposed to funneling it towards all the private label sellers. Just maybe another reason to think about diversifying.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so we just have a couple more questions left.
Okay.
I think there's about two.
And then we'll get to
but I also want to say, if you guys are, I noticed a lot of new people in the comment sections. So if you guys are new to this, we have a Facebook group called Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and eCommerce Collective. So you can go over there. We have a great community right now, and it's a great place to engage. And a lot of the guests are the members as well. So if you have a question, you can always just ask it on the board. And I'll put the link in the bio or in the comment section. But our next question is from Jessica Rabbit. I believe this is Rosalind. Do you start with the copy and match the photos, or start with the photos and match the copy to them?
Start with the copy, match the photos. Okay. And are you talking, I'm assuming she's talking about the main and auxiliary images. So I provide image guidance for EBC and A+, and then it's a separate package usually for main and auxiliary image guidance. So I always start with the copy, and then I tell people what to do for the photos, right? So some people do customized photos. Some people go and grab a ton of, stock images. Some people already have photos available. So I just tell them everything needs to be in the photo, on the photo, in terms of seals, guarantees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I always start with the copy, because to me, it just makes more sense to look at the words you need to convince somebody to do something. We have proven time and time again, we can have one main image and killer sales copy and convert better than someone with a whole bunch of images and no sales copy. over and over and over again. Because people take the image and they say, well, we can interpret this as 1,000 different words. So the first thing we need to do is think of what are the words we want them to interpret it as, right? What do we need them to believe? And then we add the image that helps to anchor that belief behind it, not say, here's the image, let's write something cool on top of it because we like the image, right? Okay, yeah, same question. Sorry. I feel like my voice is gruff. I had bronchitis for like a month. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying.
You're doing fine.
You're doing
Thank
great.
you.
All right, so our last question is from Fatia. Do you review the conversions with clients after a certain period, say 3 months, or do you only assess if the clients contact you back again?
I only assess if clients contact me back again. Right now, I have roughly 8,000 clients I've worked with across all sales copy spectrums, including Amazon. And so if I were to check in with 8,000 people every single month, I wouldn't be able to write high converting copy. So if someone has an issue with their conversion, they think, okay, well, I think we should be converting higher. I can take a look at that. But we have a 97% success rate of increasing conversions to the point where everybody's super happy about it. So if there's part of that 3%, they're welcome to come back and contact me. But I haven't heard this year, one time in the last year, I've had one person come to me out of all of the people I've worked with and said, I don't feel like conversions are doing well. So can we look at this? And we took a look at it and we realized that it was conversions for specific keywords that weren't doing well that had dropped. And that's because Amazon had decided that they were no longer allowed to advertise for those keywords. And it was in the mail supplement industry where they moved them into a different category. So yeah, but I mean, people can check back in and we can always take a look at it and see if there's a way to improve it.
Okay, great. And just mention about the prize. So if you are, of course, if you tag 2 people, you get an extra entry. But what we don't want to have happen is people using several different accounts as the same person and getting votes that way. So it's 1 person per vote. So if we do find out that you've been using multiple accounts, you won't be able to enter anymore. So just to let everyone know, we just want this to be fair for everyone.
Kelsey's nickname is Badass.
Rock on.
All right.
Okay. Diane wrote me a great Hypnotic copy and I love it. Do you have any photographers you would recommend?
Yeah, we got Taylor Boone. She was
Yeah,
on.
there's so many. If you can raise your hand if you're an awesome photographer on this podcast, there's some really amazing ones, and I always advise that like I can recommend them, but you guys have so many like fellow I'm really big on a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So you have so many fellow Amazon sellers who do this, who will sell on Amazon, and they've developed a passion for photography along the way. And you want someone who both understands Amazon and has the passion for photography. Like I would totally if have people raise their hands on this podcast, because I don't want to, I'm sure there's amazing people on here.
Yeah, no, there
Marcia,
probably is.
I think has an amazing one as well.
Who's that?
Yeah, Marcia, that's Taylor Boone.
Yeah, Taylor Boone.
Yeah, that's who it is, Taylor Boone. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Marcia has an amazing copyright or amazing photographer.
Yeah, and she put together a few packages for Lunch with Norm too. So, we just go to the site and you'll be able to see the different packages that she put together. Also, I saw something in the comments about do we have an SOP on the keywords? I know Stephen Pope gave us phase 1, 2, and 3 if you want to go and take a look on the blog. I don't know if Diane has an SOP or anything for the way that you do your, it sounds.
I have an SOP for everything. I have an SOP for how we load the dishwasher.
Well, I have an SOP on how to make a cup of coffee.
I do too. Peanut butter jelly sandwich. Yes.
No wonder I like you so much.
For keywords, I have a 126 points checklist for that kind of thing. Yes. I'm not kidding. I will show you my kids' checklist, which have an SOP to the right-hand side of it.
I want to publish that.
So yes, I can. I'll look at what I have, and if the person wants to be more specific, they can email me, and then I'll just shoot you over what I shoot them.
Okay, so there are people that are going to be wanting to contact you. How do they get a hold of you?
They can go to hypnoticamazoncopywriter.com and just click on help desk. I still, to this day, manage my own help desk. That is changing very shortly because it's just becoming really busy. They can go to Diane at AmazonSalesGuru.com or Diane at NLPHypnocopy.com. I answer both of those. You can definitely look me up on Facebook and just shoot me a message there if that's easier for you. Yeah, don't try to get me on LinkedIn though, because I keep forgetting to check those messages. I'm still getting used to that. That's, my one thing is like, if you want to wait a while, go to LinkedIn, because I'm getting bombarded by businesses there who want me to acquire them and help them grow. So it's like, Amazon, let's channel you guys here. Businesses that want to grow, contact me on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Okay, so I guess it's a bit of that time. I think it is, Kels.
Okay.
Should we go
All
to the $1,400, $1,500 giveaway?
Well, just a second. We got to play the song, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the Wheel of Elsie.
All right, we're making history today. We are making history.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Thank you. All right, so this is for the Wheel of Kelsey. This is the $14.97 package. So I'm going to just shuffle the names. This is a record.
Last time, I think, and I see Marsha in their bunch.
Yeah, so if they tag a person, they get an extra
yes
too. So we got a bunch of people here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Fingers crossed.
Here we go. I can't even read anything.
Oh, Jason.
All right. Congratulations.
Jason, contact me.
Okay.
We will talk.
So probably the best thing to do is just contact Kelsey, k@lunchwithnorm.com, and he'll make sure that you get that information. So congrats. Sure. You just won a $1,500 package. So awesome. Okay. Let's go for the big one, the $25,000 one.
Oh, wait, no, that's the same one. Just a second.
Oh, Kelsey, do your job. Come on.
It doesn't differentiate. Just a second. Boop, boop, boop.
I can't wait to see who wins this one. They're about to have their mind wildly blown by what they can do with their e-com business.
Okay, here we go. So we got a lot of entries here.
Okay.
So
all right, let's roll it.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Let's see
who wins.
I kind of feel like you guys have rigged it.
Oh my God.
You know what?
It looks like I won.
The beard guy wins. That's incredible.
Bonus. Okay, congrats, Norm.
Congrats.
All right, just kidding, everyone.
Maybe she's real now. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, here.
I'm wondering how many people have got their things out, like what's going on here.
Get the pitchforks out. All right, so I'm shuffling everyone here.
All right.
Here we go. This is the big 25,000. 3, 2, 1.
August. We're doing it.
$25,000 package.
Yes.
Who's gonna win?
Okay, Jungle Ops.
Oh, who's Jungle Ops? I don't know who that is. Who's behind that code name?
That is a YouTuber, I believe. So again, email me at k@lunchwithnorm.com and I'll connect you to.
Wow.
With,
Congrats.
Diane.
Jungle Ops.
I can't wait to see what you're doing.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. So, all right. So we did it. That is the biggest giveaway we've ever had.
Awesome.
I really appreciate you coming back on. I appreciate your generosity too with your gifts. So I think just a quick note. I know we're running late like we always do, but we want to just let people know that we are coming up with a few different things. We've got a Patreon site that's going to be launching very soon. So we'll give you all the details on that. Also, some big news. We've changed our Clubhouse. So we have teamed up with one of the largest group in Clubhouse. And it's, for entrepreneurs, it's called Startup Club. And we have our weekly slot Thursdays at 1:00 if you want to join us. It's not just about Amazon. It's about growing your business. It's about being successful online. So it's actually called eCom Weekly. Learn how to sell. Learn how to sell online. There, that's generic enough. And if you want to join us, again, that's 1:00 Thursday Eastern Standard Times. Other than that, Kelsey, what do we have?
Okay. Well, first off, I want to say a big thank you to all of our listeners and I just love our community. Like, I think some communities, if we have a big giveaway, they'd, be spiteful that they didn't win. But our whole group is just congratulating each other. So that's really great to see. So again, we have a Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. I'm posting the link right now. So definitely join the community. We've got a good little family going right now, and it's always great to see everyone and engage with people, and yeah, of course, smash those like buttons. Check out our new templates that we're using on our YouTube channel. They're great. I think they're a little more eye-catching. That's just Norm and Farrar. You can just search Lunch with Norm. We've got over, I think, 300 videos, so you can go see anything. So we have Diane Boerstler's past episode, Taylor Boone. We have all the good stuff up there if you're interested. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's it for today, people. Thank you for joining. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Eastern Standard Time at noon. And like Kelsey said, we can't do this without you. Thank you so much for being part of the community, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Lunch with Norm.